Hey guys, I've come up with a terrible idea that I just know you're gonna hate. What do you guys think about removing the dislike button?
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, that's the worst idea you've had since the last idea you had.
Oh, great. Thanks so much for your feedback, guys. We knew you would hate this one.
We're doing it anyway.
You never listen to us.
Why do you even ask us?
Great news, guys. With all the issues that YouTube is having with harassment and bullying, scams happening in the comment sections, influencers trying to bend over their fans, and the absolutely terrible content that's happening over on YouTube Kids, YouTube has finally made a positive change to the website by removing dislike counts from being seen. Was that the positive change? That's a terrible idea. Why are they doing that? Before we get into it, see me live in Adelaide, lousespears.com, December 9th. It's the final show of my tour. I want to see you there, lousespears.com, Adelaide. Get your tickets now. There's less than 100 left.
So, the update from YouTube is that the dislike button is staying, but the dislike counts will now be private. Unfortunately, research teams at YouTube have found there's this whole other use for disliking a video that I had never experienced as a creator, and you may not have either.
Right off the bat, I love this. The poor guy who has to be the face of this change is admitting in the video about the change that he has never experienced the issue they're trying to solve or has even heard of it happening. So that's a really good sign that YouTube has done their research and is listening to the community, is they're trying to fix issues that no one's even heard of before.
Apparently, groups of viewers are targeting a video's dislike button to drive up the count. And it's usually just because they don't like the creator or what they stand for.
Yes, that's what the dislike button is for. If I watch something and I dislike it, or if I see something from a person that I dislike, there is a button called the dislike button. Don't know if you've heard it. And I can hit that and it lets everybody know that I dislike the video or the creator. That's what it's for.
Ooh, I wonder what this does.
If I have a tech issue,
My BlackBerry is not working.
and I'm trying to solve a problem, and I click on a video with a title that says, I'm gonna solve your issue, and it has 100 dislikes and 10 likes, I know that that video probably isn't gonna fix the issue. Removing that now means that whenever I have a problem, or whenever I'm trying to build something, or whenever I'm trying to make something and I need a tutorial, I now, instead of just looking at the dislike ratio, I instead have to watch 10 different videos, roll the dice and gamble on one of them being correct.
That's a big problem when half of YouTube's mission is to give everyone a voice.
YouTube's mission is to give everyone a voice. Hey YouTube, have you ever considered that not everyone should have a voice?
What's your name?
Freddie Jones.
Freddie Jones. Shut up!
I feel like that's a real big problem with today is, hey man, not everybody needs a voice. I mean, I would like a voice. I don't need one. You know, not everyone needs a voice on YouTube. Not everyone should be a content creator trying to perform for the masses. Some people just need to be a guy, you know? Some chicks just need to be some chick. One of the reasons YouTube is getting rid of the dislike button is to protect creators' feelings, but they're still letting me, the creator, see how many dislikes I'm getting.
Dislike button is staying, but the dislike counts will now be private. Only the creator can find it on the back end if they want.
So you're not protecting me at all. I can still at any moment just log in, check the dislikes, and have my own feelings hurt in private. Like if you want to protect fragile people's feelings from seeing the dislike button, you need to remove it entirely, because those people that are letting themselves get their feelings hurt over a dislike button, which is silly, are still going to be looking at that and going, oh, I'm sad. I got some dislikes from strangers. That makes me sad. Doesn't protect those people who, let's be honest, shouldn't really be protected at all. That's just the reality of being a content creator. You're gonna make things that people will dislike. Now, I will say that dislike attacks are a real thing, you know, and it's not a nice thing. I mean, I've been at the receiving end of these many times. If I ever take a shot at BTS stans, Lord knows my like to dislike ratio is gonna be off for the next month. But if I really wanted to, if it was really affecting me that much, I already have the tools to stop those dislike attacks. I can turn off the dislike and like ratio. I can disable that. I mean, every single news platform, every single mainstream media platform, they already do this. People watch something, and when they don't like it, they go, oh, I'm going to express my frustration with the dislike button. They go to find it, it's not there. They go, oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to post the creator's home address in the comment section. That's what happens. The negativity goes away from the button and into the comment section, which is worse for creators' mental health. I mean, I'm a very resilient person, but even I know that if I want to ruin my own day, all I need to do is hit show more in the comment section, and that's it. My week is fucking ruined. Now, the biggest piece of feedback that YouTube got was removing the dislike ratio makes it hard to determine if a video is worth my time. That's the biggest point that they got, and YouTube responded to this point saying that no, every single person on earth is wrong thanks to our research.
Without a public dislike count, how can viewers tell if a video is worth watching? Again, I kind of had this question too, but it turns out that while viewers might use the dislike count to give them a sense of a video's worth, when the teams looked at the data across millions of viewers and videos in the experiment, they didn't see a noticeable difference in viewership, regardless of whether they could see the dislike count or not. In other words, it didn't really matter if a video had a lot of dislikes or not, they still watched.
I don't know what their research is, and they haven't even published their research, so we don't know if it is like infallible research or if it's just a computer putting in a bunch of digits and determining watch time. I just have a hard time believing if that's true or not. Like, I use that dislike ratio every single day when I'm looking at tutorials, when I'm looking at video game reviews, when I'm looking at how-to or troubleshooting videos. I use it every single time I'm on YouTube to determine if a video is worth my time. And I'm not too sure if an algorithm or a robot that does research can actually properly infer a human's intentions and behavior when it's just ones and zeros and numbers. I don't think that algorithmic research tells the full story of a human's behavior on a website. I mean, we've already seen this with Facebook, right? Facebook used artificial intelligence to make people spend the most amount of time they could on Facebook, and what the robots started to do was serve people content that ruined their day, that upset them, that made them angrier and sadder and more radical types of people, and it destroyed people's enjoyment when they were on the website, but it increased the amount of time they used the website, which then led to people just being burnt out and going, Facebook forever, I'm never going back. It ruined my day every time I looked at it. So maybe removing the dislike ratio will make people spend more time on YouTube, but is that time being enjoyed, or is the time being spent watching a video trying to determine if this is going to solve the problem, or if this is going to be a good recipe, or if this will be a funny video, and then finding out halfway through that it actually sucks, going, oh, well, I've just wasted 5 minutes going on to another video, doing that on another video, going, oh, well, that sucks. And you've spent 10 minutes on the website, which is longer than what you would normally spend, but you've had a worse time, which would make you less likely to come back in the long run. Is that what this does?
All right, so that's the update. I hope it doesn't cause too much frustration. Honestly, I think you're going to get used to it pretty quickly, and keep in mind, other platforms don't even have a dislike button. So consider that. Thank you, and I hope you're well.
Now that's a really lovely, well-constructed sentence that pretty much just says, guys, look, we've taken your feedback on board, we've listened to it, and thank you so much, but we've decided to say, you, we're doing it anyway, we're not listening. Also, them saying that other platforms don't have a dislike button isn't a good argument. I mean, Instagram, for example, shouldn't have a dislike button because that's a website that lots of people use to only connect with personal close friends. So having a dislike button and then seeing that your mum or your sister or your best friend disliked a photo of you, that will genuinely hurt the average person's feelings. Also, saying that other platforms don't have a dislike button doesn't make sense because YouTube is unlike every single other platform. It's for long video content. You have to decide whether or not you're going to sit down and watch something for a long time, and a dislike button helps you determine that. So I feel like that comparison is absolutely off, and it's just the only reason they could have to be like, oh, well, you know, other platforms don't have a dislike button at all, so you should be grateful that we've given you even the ability to press the button that now does nothing. And it is very strange that YouTube is making this change because of these dislike bombs that they keep talking about, but the only time I've ever seen dislike bombs is when a creator does something really heinous in real life, like, you know, messaging underage people or things like that, or scamming their own fans. That's when we really see these dislike bombs, and I would say that discourages people from doing that in future. The only other time you see a massive amount of dislikes on a quality video is if it's clickbait. So if a title says, I'm giving away $1 million to my fans, and then that doesn't happen in the video, you'll see lots of dislikes, and then you know that doesn't actually happen in the video. You don't need to watch it. But now, people can clickbait without repercussion at all. So there's no way now to deter clickbait on the platform, if that makes sense. So that does happen, but that's not enough to justify change. The only time you do see heaps and heaps and heaps of dislikes, though, are with mainstream media content, with Tonight Show clips, with news clips, with comedy clips from mainstream media outlets. These are the only regular uploaders to YouTube that consistently get dislike bombed. And I think that is really who YouTube are trying to appease, because that's a lot of money for YouTube, is all these mainstream media outlets uploading their clips en masse to YouTube. It's a big money maker, and these people have heaps of power over the website. I think that is who this dislike change is meant to appease, is these people. And I would say, why the fuck is YouTube, a platform where regular people should be uploading content and succeeding, bending the knee to mainstream media outlets? Instead of changing the entire website to appease a tiny minority of users, why not tell those users, yeah, the reason you're getting dislikes is because your shows aren't funny, or your news sucks, or your content is bad. Maybe be better and people will like it. That's what the ratio does. I mean, we're already seeing negativity go to the comment section where it would normally go to the dislike button. I mean, most videos now have a top comment that is use me as a dislike button. In fact, that will be this video's top comment. I'll do it for you. If you didn't like this video, you can use it as a dislike button. I hope it doesn't get many likes, but at least it'll be there and at least it'll be public. I will, however, to punish you for disliking my video manually via the comment section, be attaching to that dislike button a link to my merch store. Please buy a t-shirt, loosbeers.com. Because if you're gonna bully me, I'm going to market to you. But it's not just creators and users who are very upset about this change, it's also the founder of YouTube itself. So the guy who invented YouTube and then later sold it to Google actually updated the description of the first ever video uploaded to the website with a giant statement about why changing this dislike ratio to private is a bad idea. Basically, the founder says something very true and very insightful, which is YouTube by its nature has a lot of bad content. In fact, most content uploaded to YouTube will be bad, and that's the beauty of it. Anyone can upload, but a like to dislike ratio just enables people to find the good stuff, and removing that makes it more difficult to do so, which makes YouTube less enjoyable. And we don't need any more of that, because you look at the trending page, not much enjoyment to be found there. Please don't make it any harder for us. Overall, this is just a bad change that doesn't make any sense to me or any of the viewers or the users of the website, if you can tell by any comment section about this. It does make videos that are bad look a lot better though. I mean, if you have a look at the most recent rewind, it's got over 3 million likes. That looks great. Now we can't tell that it's one of the most disliked videos of all time, and we won't see that record being shattered at all ever. So that's kind of cool. It'll forever be the top 10 most disliked video ever is something made by YouTube themselves. So that's kind of funny. That's a permanent record now. That'll never change. But I don't know. I just think this is a weird idea from YouTube, and I hope that they revert back to it based on everyone's feedback. I mean, they won't, but a man can dream. All right, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Lewis Spears. Subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I'm posting stand-up clips every single day, so check that out. It's really great, @LewsSpears. And I'll talk to you in a couple of days. Bye.
Buy my shit, buy my shirts, buy my merch and no one gets hurt. Buy my shit, buy my shirts, buy my merch and no one gets hurt. Buy my shit, buy my shirts, buy my merch and no one gets hurt. Buy my shit, buy my shirts, buy my merch and no one gets hurt.